Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at everything that I whittled in the month of May on the Whittling YouTube channel. First off, it was kind of like the Woodland Tiny Things series this month. I started with a teeny acorn, which started out kind of as one of these blocks here. I kind of just drew little acorns around it, and then at the end I used one of my acrylic paint pens, painted it. I did a little bit of oil on the bottom here, and then I burnished around it later on. Let it dry, burnished it, and then it came out this kind of glossy top. It came out kind of cute, little tiny acorn. Just delighted with how that turned out. Can't wait for a bunch more little tiny series there. Speaking of, it was mushroom season in May. Seems like I started carving mushrooms and I couldn't stop. These are just the cutest little, most addicting thing to carve. So I started out, I think this one was my first one, and this too started out with one of these kind of just like, 1 by 1 by 3-ish inch blocks. And so, same thing. I painted it with those acrylic pens, kind of burnished the bottom, and then I applied some oil to the bottom there. And I plan to either give these to my nieces to play with, or this thing might be a little choking hazard, so I'm going to try to probably make like a little fairy garden on my garden lane that I live on. So those are kind of cute. Not sure what. Comment in the bottom if you have an idea for what I should paint this one, or if I should leave that kind of bare. Another little tiny mushroom here, maybe a little shorter one. And then my wife ended up painting this one. She did it party mix, and then gave it a cute little smiley face. So we like things with smiley faces, if you can't tell. All right, so takeaway for May: don't start carving mushrooms unless you want to carve a whole bunch, because they're super addicting. Really fun to do these in all kind of different shapes and sizes. You really can't go wrong. Really fun to color and paint them afterwards. This one, I don't know if you can tell. This one I painted, I let it dry, and then I rubbed a little burnishing, like washout tool that I use for burnishing, around it, and it got this really kind of nice glossy patina to it. I've never tried burnishing after I painted something. For reference, this is one that was not burnished, so it's like kind of more matte. And then this one here did the burnishing just on the top, and it came out really glossy and nice. So I really liked how those turned out. Kind of cute. Okay, so I'll put those aside. Next thing, I made a cake server. Here it was my wife's 40th birthday, so I wanted to try to make a cake server. This one wasn't actually done in time for her actual birthday, but cake server nonetheless. This was a fun one. I made it out of black walnut, and if anyone's ever tried carving black walnut, boy oh boy, do you have to stop and strop pretty often. That one will test the edge retention on any whittling knife for sure. If I were to do this one again, really the more complicated thing was trying to get an edge here without making it too thin, but also I think this was maybe too thick, so I wish maybe I'll go back over it and thin this out a little bit more up top here. And then I do like I said before, I have kind of bigger hands, so I do like this like chunkier handle here. Maybe I would make this look a little more refined rather than it looks a little chunky. Other than that, really happy with how this turned out. Excited to use this one on some cakes and pies. Made this little tiny scoop. This was one of the series that I made after my wife's heritage silver collection. This was kind of a scalloped spoon that I think it's used for like eggs or getting little pickles or something like that out. The original spoon, it has little holes, drainage holes here, and then scalloped here too, theoretically also for drainage. So eventually I'm thinking maybe that it might ruin the integrity of the spoon to draw a bunch of drainage, or not draw, rather drill and then whittle out, whittle or file out a bunch of little drainage holes. I'm thinking maybe I just might make one central smaller hole, kind of like an egg spoon, but that remains to be seen. Right now I'm just letting it dry a little bit more, and then we're gonna go from there. But this was really fun to carve out. I think it came out pretty nicely, really dainty with this little scalloped edge here. And then I really like the way that this the hook knife kind of shaped the inside of that there. If I were to do this one again, I wish, and in my original pattern I had a little bit more like crank to the spoon, and then I had that in the plan. I had a crack along this edge, so I had to shave that part of the handle down. I think you could probably see part of the crack here just a little bit. So less crank, a little bit smaller handle as well, but we saved the spoon. It seems like we saved that project there. All right, last but not least, we have this kind of coffee scoop, another little coffee scoop, also made out of black walnut. This one was just a quick coffee scoop. I need something for my coffee. And the other scoop that I have, it's made more like out of walnut, and then one that was kind of like a spalted something that I found in my backyard. And it gets really discolored with the coffee and things like that. So I figured I would have, or whittle one that's out of black walnut. Don't have to worry about the discoloration or anything like that. So this one was really straightforward. And yeah, there's that. That one's out of that same black walnut that we were still trying to get through. And that's everything that I whittled in the month of May. We had a bunch more, I had a bunch more social activities this month, preparing for a big hike, to do a big hike in Europe in the next few weeks here, so I was preparing for that. So not a ton of huge whittling projects, a bunch of whittle ones, but super fun nonetheless. Really still thankful for this channel. All 124 subscribers of you who are watching, that is absolutely awesome. I can't believe that anybody other than my sister and my dad watch this channel, so thanks for following along. Thanks for all of your awesome comments and ideas and things like that. Keep them coming. I really appreciate it. If you're just finding my channel, I'm here 3 times a week, usually some shorts Tuesdays and Thursdays, and a longer video or project Saturday mornings. I'm open to changing that based on what folks are interested in as far as the timing of posts and things like that. Still trying to figure that out, but having a blast doing so. I really like being held accountable to finishing projects, otherwise I'll have a ton of blocks like this where I've started a bunch of things and haven't finished them. And I'm really looking forward to June, to showing you all kind of what we have planned for June. It's a big kind of whittling month where we have things like holiday, birthday gifts, Father's Day gifts, things like that, that I'm working on. So super excited to share that with y'all, and I hope to see y'all in the next one.